everyone and welcome back. It's Gina from orchidandopal.com, and today I have the curated collections by Beads to Live By. And inside I believe I have the seed beads and the 2-hole beading subscription, so we'll check that out. And if you're interested in signing up for any of these, you can look right down below the video in the description section. That's where I have the link directly to the Beads to Live By website and specifically their subscriptions page. Let's go ahead and open this up though and see what is in store for us this time around. All right, so it feels like the seed beads are in this bundle. We'll take a look at these first and then follow up with our other bundle, which should be the 2-hole beads. And the nice thing about these subscriptions is that they color coordinate across the different ones that you subscribe to. So the palette that we see in the seed beads bundle here should match with our other bundle, giving us some things we can put together. So let's get started with our seed beads. And here's what we see inside of that tissue paper. We have 8 bags containing size 11-0 round seed beads, which you'll find come in brands like Toho, Miyuki, Mitubo. So these are high quality brands with really consistently sized seed beads, great for bead weaving and other precision projects. And to find out the specific names of these seed beads and the brands, if you just go to their website, to their seed bead subscription or collections page, and specifically for past selections, they have a listing that they've provided there for you with the specific codes that correspond to each of these packages. And you can just do a quick internet search using that code, and that'll bring you to that information if you wanted to label these specifically or pick up more of them. Each of these bags contains 10 grams of seed beads, and it looks like we have another unique and lovely palette to check out for the month. And to get a better look at these, I'm going to just go ahead and put them in the divided ceramic tray, and then we'll get a closer look at each of these one at a time. So here's our palette all together with all 8 varieties separated out, and it looks like we have a well-balanced palette with some neutral shades in the mix along with some brighter colors. And we start out with our first color, which is in a shade of peach. Looks like one of those alabaster type of seed beads with the translucent glass. And it also has a metallic lining because you can see how it's extra shiny from within and sort of sparkling through the creamy peach glass. Our next selection is a matte finished sort of topaz shade. And it also looks like it may have some of an AB coating. There's a little bit of the rainbow of additional colors that show up on the surface of those beads, but it's a bit more toned down because of the lack of extra glossy shine. Our third selection is probably the most neutral. This is in a light, warm tan shade. And these are opaque, but they do seem to have a bit of an extra shine or perhaps a luster coating, giving the exterior even more of a glossy effect. And so far, all these selections have been different in terms of the type of seed bead, whether it be matte or a silver lined or opaque. And now we have one with this speckled appearance on the outside on top of this shade of light olive green. Kind of reminds me of the Picasso finish that you see sometimes on the seed beads, but it doesn't look like it has nearly the heaviness we normally see with the Picasso finish on, say, the Miyuki seed beads. It's definitely a lighter application and allows most of that opaque green to show through. Our darkest selection of the palette is this one in what looks to be sort of a purple iris combination. The majority of the beads have the deep purple cast, and you can see how there are hints of blue and a little bit of gold and maybe some green and bronze that pop up also in certain areas, giving those a little bit more dimension. And again, another type of seed bead to add to this mix, not getting all the same types and finishes. And then next we get to this gorgeous shade of periwinkle, this one being opaque as well and seems to have a similar luster finish like those warm tan ones we took a look at, just a hint of a transparent silvery shine that I'm detecting on the top. And that brings us to selection number 7, this one being kind of a dusty lavender tone or maybe a light amethyst with the AB coating on the matte finish once again, which gives those a little bit of a glow and a subtle little hint of a rainbow of colors on the surface. This one's similar to that golden or light topaz selection we saw earlier. And then our final one, number 8, is another gorgeous alabaster-like selection with that creamy purplish translucent glass with another metallic lining. This one bringing a golden or slightly copper colored metallic shine from within. And that's everything for the March 2023 Beads to Live By Seed Bead subscription. And they have another curated collection, which I mentioned, that includes 5 strands of 2-hole check glass beads every month. And every month are the same 5 types, but like I said, they coordinate with the seed bead selection, and therefore their colors change month after month. So let's bring that in. And here is that bundle. That is stunning. And you can see how it really does go with the palette. I'm seeing a lot of copper. We have some purple, topaz, and more in these strands. So we'll take a look at those in just a moment. And in addition to these 2 subscriptions, they also have a vintage button subscription. And you can see some examples of those from some earlier unboxing videos if you want to check out the Beads to Live By playlist that I have set up. And then they also have some check glass single hole add-on bead strands that go with the monthly seed beads and 2-hole beads. And they've included a few of those for us to look at. This time we have 4 strands of fire polish beads, which again complement this palette beautifully. Looks like we have 2 4mm size and 2 3mm size included. And here are those examples up close in those 2 different sizes. So if you're interested in getting some additional check glass strands, just check out their optional add-ons, which I will try to link to right down below as well. And these would give you the 4mm fire polish you need to make the tutorial for the latest bracelet I shared just a few days ago, that one including the Beads to Live By beads in 2 different colors of the 11-0 seed beads and the selection of silky beads that we received a couple months ago. So with the addition of the 4mm, you'd have everything you need to make that example. And here are the silky beads in this really eye-catching combination that combines the purplish blue of some of those seed beads we see down below and some of that more copper color that shows up with one side of these silkies having one color and the other having the other primarily. So you can almost use these in a way that's reversible if you want to. So every month you'll get a strand of silky beads. There's 25 pieces of this variety. Next is our 2-hole dagger bead selection with this etched finish and more of that metallic copper shade. These are really beautiful and have some spots that are a little bit more shiny than others, and this being a pretty neutral metallic that would go with any of these colors that we see below. And all the bead strands that we're taking a look at as far as the 2-hole beads have 25 pieces except for the lentils, which we'll look at soon, and those have 50 pieces per strand. But I am loving these 2-hole tile beads. Really gorgeous how they've combined the creamy white opaque glass with some of that warm golden topaz that's actually showing up in stripes along these pressed glass beads in a combination that I have not seen before. So these being similar in size to the silkies and everything except for the fact that these tile beads have the holes going parallel through that square shape, both of the holes going from one flat side to the other. The silky beads, of course, having their holes in such a way that those beads sit at more of a diagonal. And so here are the lentil beads, these having another combination of the coppery orange and purplish blue coming together. really incorporating those two main parts of our seed bead palette in a single bead selection. We have some areas that have a bit of a metallic shine, and then a lot of other spots that are in the transparent, colorful glass. And these, of course, have the two holes running through the face of those flat circular discs. And then our last one is in this icy light lavender with a satiny type finish. These are the two hole stud beads that come up to a bit of a point at the top and the two holes that run through the flat base. And this selection bringing us some of that light pastel purple, which would combine nicely, especially I think with that really dark purple iris variety of the seed beads. So another great job by Beads to Live By. I've been really enjoying seeing how the monthly palettes and selections have been changing for every single subscription package, yet they all coordinate together so that if you wanted to get more than one, you can play around with more than seed beads or just two-hole beads and have the option to add some additional one-hole check glass beads that coordinate with your subscriptions on top of that. So don't forget you can check right down below for the link to the two subscription packages we looked at today and the monthly check glass add-on. You can find out everything there you need to know, including pricing and shipping details. But these two monthly packages come to around $18, give or take a little bit. And if you sign up for a longer period of time, you get a bit of a discount off the overall monthly price. Be sure to check out the Beads to Live By YouTube channel as well, because there you'll also find some projects that go along with these specific monthly beads. And not only do they send out these packages, but they're also a physical, an actual bead store and female-operated small business. And they also, of course, have their own bead shop online that you can peruse through as well. So that wraps it up for the close-up look at this month's beads. I hope you enjoyed checking out everything up close and seeing if this type of subscription or if either of them are right for you. I look forward to playing around with these as usual and hope to bring you some more projects in the future. So if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to my channel. Also give the video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it or found it helpful, and feel free to share the video wherever you like. You can also share your thoughts down below. I always love to hear from you. You can let me know what you think of this month's palette, or if you have any extra special ideas in mind for what you might do with any of these beads below, or anything else you'd like to say. But that's all for now. I want to thank you all so much for joining me. I hope to see you all again real soon. I want to wish you a fabulous rest of your day. And as always, happy beading.